I want people to explain to me when people talk about progress. All these people selling hope to humanity and telling humanity that we're making progress. But I want them to explain to me what the word progress means. Is it moving forward? What kind of progress are we making? Technological progress? Biological progress? Progress in consciousness? Or how are we progressing in life? And is progress a good thing? That's what I want some of these people to explain to me, because there's a lot of people selling hope and positivity. I can understand. Nobody is going to buy a book on, you know, the negative outcomes that are probably going to happen in the future because of so-called progress. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna sell. Nobody wants to read that. Nobody's gonna read uh, books on negativity. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's selling hope because that sells. Hope is like sex. It sells, and it sells books. And all these mainstream academics, they know that. You know, they could not tell you the truth because it's ugly. Nobody wants to hear it. So if I write a book telling people the truth about the world and all that, probably not that many people is gonna read it because, especially if you're a mainstream academic, because nobody wants to hear that shit. So you have to sugarcoat all that information. Everything you write has to be sometimes sugarcoated. Let's say progress. Progress towards what? I want somebody to define for me the word progress. Technological progress, sure. But let me tell you something, you know, about technological progress. I think technology is gonna lead to two outcomes on this planet for the human race, which is one is on the one hand it's going to be slavery. Technology is going to enslave humanity, something that we can already see the effects of. I mean, you can see people all day walking around with cell phones, just staring at pictures of people they don't know. They probably going to never meet people who don't give a fuck about them any fucking ways. So they spend all day now doing this, distracted. So that's a form of mind enslavement. I say your mind is being enslaved, your attention is being taken away from the important things of life, so you can focus and give your attention to trivial matters, stuff that is not gonna benefit you in any way, shape, or form as a human being. It's not gonna benefit your growth. It's not gonna benefit anything. So on the one hand, I think technological progress is going to lead humanity to the vast majority of humanity being slave. Just wait until AI comes along. Your life is already being run by algorithms. Wait until AI comes around. You know what I'm saying? Especially people who, the vast majority of human beings who don't understand as technology gets more complex and complicated and harder to understand. The concepts behind these technologies get harder and harder to understand and more complicated. The vast majority of people are probably going to be left behind in understanding, and all they're going to become is enslaved by technology. So that's one of the possible outcomes of technology, the enslavement of the human race. Think the movie The Matrix, for example. You know, and the other possible outcome of technological progress could be the destruction of the human race through a World War III and nuclear war, or some other catastrophe created by technology, AI, you know, killer bots, killer drones, stuff like that. So, and this is they are both inevitable outcomes of technological progress for the vast majority of the human race. I think some people understand these issues and they know this is coming, and they already know this is happening. They don't care, and they just don't care. But that's the only two possible outcomes of technological progress on this planet, the enslavement of the vast majority of the human race, or total and complete human annihilation in some sort of world war where nuclear weapons are deployed. To me, these are the two only possible outcomes, and it's inevitable in the future. These outcomes are going to be inevitable. It's going to be one or the other, or both, and they're both underway right now. So I want all these positivists or hopefuls, not positivists. I'm a positivist. Hope people selling hope out there to other people. I want them to explain to me the word progress. Progressing towards what are we? Towards what? Towards a better society, toward a more just society, towards a progressing towards more freedom, towards more ethics, towards more understanding, towards greater uh, expansion of consciousness. What are we progressing towards? And nobody explains that to you. I can understand why people don't give a fuck about this shit, but that's what I think that is going to happen, you know. And this is just inevitable in the end.